Okay. Now, again, super important. Here we go. Just go around the room. Aiden,
Because the negative threes in parentheses, it has to be -3 to the fourth star.
which is which one?
Oh, B.
B is correct. Do you have to put the parentheses around it? Yes, you have to. All right, you have to. I think it should have been this. I may try to trick you on the test. I may change that to a what? 4. Does everybody see that? And some kids might accidentally put A down. It's not the same, right? Everybody knows that. It's not the same. Okay, here we go. Number 2.
So can I just tell you the answer?
I want you to, yeah, tell me what to do.
So the ball dropped 6 seconds, and so I did, but it traveled 16 times 6 to the second power, so I did 16 times 6 to the second power.
And what did you get?
576.
Right, I'm happy with that. 576 feet. I don't care what you do. All right, when you take a test, I'm going to grade it right or wrong.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Number 3.
Okay, evaluate A3 minus B2. If A is 3, and B is 6. I got -9.
Anybody else get -9?
Oh, yeah, mine did.
Everybody okay with that? Okay. Now, number 4, Mikey.
5 to the -6.
It is 5 to the -6. 5 to the -6. Now, remember, if you're not sure, you just raise your hand and say, hey, just explain that one for me. All right, that's all you're doing. You just raise your hand and say, hey, explain that a little bit. Anybody? All right. Where am I at now? No, Sophia, right? Sophia, go.
So it's 5 times -2 to the fourth to the -4th power. 516.
Yeah, the answer is C. Now, you might have to be careful putting that into your calculator. What?
Yeah, because in the calculator, it gives you -516.
Now, the reason why, but I'm saying, and I'm going to change that on the test to make a -5/16 also. So you would get it wrong. So why is it positive though? Everybody needs to pay attention. Why do I know for sure it's positive?
It doesn't register that exponent being like times 1, and it thinks it's actually negative, so it's not.
That's exactly right. But better, you could just say,
You do parentheses.
yeah, you can do parentheses. That's another great point. A better point is to say, look, anything to an even power, if it's negative, is automatically going to make the answer what? Positive. Are you hearing me? Negative to an even power is what? Positive. Negative to an odd power is what? Negative. All right. Make your note if you don't know that. Yes.
How did it turn into a fraction?
Because remember, negative exponent. Whenever you have a negative exponent, you could have rewritten that as 5 over k to the 4th.
Okay.
You remember that, right? Okay, I'm happy with all these questions. Come on now, there's lots of questions. All right, if you correct yourself now, when you get down to the harder ones, it won't be a problem. All right, so what do we have here, Lila?
So would it be H?
Yes, because what do you do when you multiply? What do you do to exponents?
So, the negative exponent goes to the bottom,
Yep,
and then,
so you can rewrite it like this.
yeah.
And now it's just 1 over 7. Do you agree with that? And of course, you could use your calculator, but do I really want you using your calculator on that one? I really don't. I want you to be smart enough to say, hey, that's what the calculator means. The other thing you can do, remember, is I'm going to erase this for a quick second. And I want everybody's eyes up. I could have just said write equals here, and that would be 7 to the -1 when you add, right? Everybody okay with that? Because 3 plus -4 is -1.
Yeah.
And then that would be 1 over 7. All right, hopefully that's good. All right, number 7. Okay,
I thought, is it B?
now, listen. What's the rule when you multiply? What do you do to exponents? Shh. You add. That is exactly correct. Now, the problem here, kiddo, is I'm going to erase this right here because it's in my way, this question mark. What is the second m? What exponent does it have? Right. So it would be what? M to the -3, which is the same as 1 over m cubed. So that is correct. H and A.
So you're adding the exponents and then.
Okay. Number 8. All right. I want you to read this one to me. Nora.
In the cylinder, find the diameter of the asteroid A is roughly 10 to the -2 power kilometer, whereas the diameter of asteroid B is roughly 10 to the 6 kilometers. How many times is greater the diameter of asteroid B than asteroid A? And
So when you want to find out how,
I looked at 10 to the 7th, but I'm not interested.
that is correct, actually. All right, it is 10 to the 7th. Let's see why, guys. Look, you want to know how many times greater. Does everybody agree? So when you do times, if you want to find out how many times something is greater, you have to actually do what? Division. You have to divide. So what I want everybody to do is I want you to write 10 to the 5th divided by 10 to the -2. Everybody has to do that for me. That one's a hard one. All right, put a little star by it. Make sure you review this. Then when you divide, what happens to this -2? What can I do to it? Tell me, Aiden.
You bring it up.
That's right, I bring it up. So that becomes 10 to the 5th times 10 squared. And that's how she got 10 to the 7th. All right. I'm happy with that. What?
Could you put it in a calculator and then just count the zeros?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's another good way of doing it. Okay, that's another great way of doing it. Okay, next. So number 9. Austin.
It's
It is A. I'm super proud of you, buddy.
no.
That's very good. Okay, Maggie. Do you have a question, Mackenzie? Tell me.
Why would it be B8 or B divided by 8?
Because remember, when you divide, what do you do to exponents? Subtract. So that's the same as b to the 8 minus 4, which is the same as b to the 4th. You okay with that? Okay. Okay, you're just writing it in standard form, right? So now everybody make a note to yourself. 5 is how many times you move the decimal, right? So I move the decimal 5 spots. So how many zeros am I going to need? Nope. Think about it carefully. How many? Yes, right, because we have to move the decimal already twice. Do we agree? So what's the answer? H. Come on now, as I'm going down the page, don't just assume you're right and go on. All right, I'm trying to get you a great grade. All right, that means you got to double check every answer and make sure you're right. I think you should tell me the answer before you hear the answer. And then you can keep track of how many you get right. All right, Mackenzie, tell me about, ooh, this one's a nice one. What? I don't care what you use. Shh, 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 shh. But you don't really need your calculator, kiddo. I want you to be, look, I want you to be smarter than that. Look up on the board. I don't always want you to think about your calculator. All right. So this is 2.7 times 10 to the 4th. I'm trying to find which one's greater, correct? So I don't really know about 26,000, right? But what about B? You think it's greater or less? Why is it greater though? Shh. Shh.
Because you take away one of the, like, you take away the prime and make it 4 because you make it.
Wow, but you can even be smarter than that. if I have something to the fifth power and I have something to the fourth power, which one's bigger? Always. You with me? So automatically we know the answer is what? Yeah, we know it's B. Do you agree? All right, so that wasn't so bad, correct? Now, but what I do want to do is I still want to show you the -6 would be a decimal, right? Letter C.
Oh, yeah.
So that one's easy. Now, 10 to the fourth is the same as 10 to the fourth. So then we just check the numbers.
Yeah.
Do you agree with that?
Yeah.
Now, for me personally, I would be able to look at number A and say, that's 2.6 times 10 to the fourth. Do you agree with that?
Yeah.
So now we're happy with B?
Yeah.
All right. What you need? I don't. Okay. Now we're back up here. Aiden. Oh, you didn't do one, Wilson? I'm so sorry, buddy. I don't know why I thought that. Tell me about 12.
So it's not negative. So you just-
Right, it's definitely not negative, so we're gonna get rid of F,
And then 4.
and we're also gonna get rid of what?
G.
G.
And then 43.9 looks like the exact same other than 4. And it has the same amount of like back after the 4.9.
So what's the answer?
8.
I think I tricked you. Man, I'm so good.
Wait. Ow.
Where does the decimal go? After what number?
Oh, the first number.
Right, so now from here, please watch, from here to here is how many, is how many places?
7.
That's why it's to the what?
7.
There you go, buddy. You with me? Good fix right off the bat. Everybody good? All right, let's carry on. Okay, cube root of 512. If you don't know the cube root of 512, you can use your calculator. Am I going to show you how to use your calculator tomorrow? Or when Friday? I'm not going to show you how. All right, so learn it now if you don't know. Okay, what is the answer? 8 is absolutely correct. 8 is good. Anybody have any issues? Anybody issues with the calculator? All right. Square root of 104 rounded to 3 decimal places. Let's hear it.
I got 10.198.
10.198. Everybody okay with that?
You just do the square root.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Okay. Now, this one's a good one. What 2 consecutive integers is the square root of 41? What is it between?
What's between? It has to be, it has to be a decimal.
No, but I know integers, remember, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Which 2 numbers is it between? Without using a calculator. You should be able to do this without using a calculator. What are you thinking? What's 0 squared?
0,
What's 1 squared?
1,
What's 2 squared?
4,
What's 3 squared?
9,
4 squared?
16,
5 squared?
25,
6 squared?
36,
7 squared?
42, 49,
8 squared?
64,
9 squared?
81,
10 squared?
100.
So what 2 numbers is it between?
Oh. 36 and 49.
Yeah, it's between 36 and 49. So what integer is it between?
Integers.
Because remember, this is x squared.
Oh, 7 and 8.
What's 7 squared?
7 squared is 49.
What's 8 squared?
64.
So it's be,
6 and 7.
there you go. It's between 6 and 7. I like that problem a lot, guys. Now, if you want, you could just take your calculator and do what? Square root of 41. What's the square root of 41? Yeah. And then you would know it's between what 2 numbers? 6 and 7. But of course, do I really want you using your calculator for that? No, I want you to be smart with numbers. That means you should be able to list out the perfect squares and say it's between 36 and 49. Therefore, it's between 6 and 7. Okay? All right, Mikey. Oh, you got the annoying one. Oh, no, you didn't. What else? You are correct with the square root of 26. Is 5.3 irrational?
No.
Because you can write it as a fraction. Remember that? Repeated numbers can be written as a fraction. So 5.3 repeating would be 5 and yes, or 1/3, right? Do you remember that? Sneaky. All right, Sophia, you get to help me now. What's y times y times y? Y to the third. All right, now remember, as we're moving along, I just want to keep going. Raise your hand as soon as you don't know something. Lila,
7 to the third power times 7 to the second power.
which is equal to what?
7 to the fifth.
You are amazing. 7 to the 5th. Yes, sir. Nope, because that's the right answer, buddy. You can just do that. That was an excellent question. All right, here we go. How do you divide monomials? What do you do to the exponents? Subtract. That's exactly what you do. I want you to write subtract exponents. All right. So somebody said a good question just now. What's a monomial? Monomial means single term. So if I say x to the 5th divided by x squared, what's the answer? Because what did I do to the exponents? Subtract them. This is called a monomial because it's one term. This is called a monomial because it's one term. Okay. All right, which brings me to who's up next? Who did that one? I forgot. Okay, Max. All right, buddy. Come on, help me out with number 20. 3 to the 8th. That's the answer. I don't want the answer to 3 to the 8th. I want it as an exponent. Mr. Ward, help me out. What do we just say? When we divide, what do we do to exponents? Subtract. 5 to the 1st. All right. And I like writing 5 to the 1st because that helps me realize I just subtracted. If you put 5 down, I'm good with that. All right. I'm good with it being 5. Okay. All right. Maggie. You get a tricky one.
7,
Wait a minute.
8.
What am I doing?
You're at.
You're right. You add the exponents. But what do I do to the numbers?
Oh, you keep them the same.
Nope.
No. Oh, sorry.
Shh. What operation am I doing?
Multiplication. Oh, so you multiply.
That's correct. So it'd be what?
12.
Yeah. Multiply numbers, add exponents. Multiply numbers, add exponents. All right. Anybody have a question with 22? Yes.
Is that the same thing with division or?
Division, you divide numbers and subtract exponents. Okay. All right. Who's up? Go.
The wavelength of the ultraviolet wave extends to the -10. Write the wavelength of an ultraviolet wave as a fraction of a -10.
So what would I do with that?
You'd be 1 on top, and then you have 10.
You are amazing. That was really good. That was good. All right. Ooh, this one's a nice one. Nora.
Oh, well, I got 18. Not really sure that's the answer.
So tell me what I'm doing.
So basically, every like five, there's gonna be like, there's gonna be like, oh no, that's not right. Okay,
But
so-
what do we do? What does triple mean?
is it cube? Like times 3, like.
Yeah, times 3. Triple means times 3,
Yeah.
right? So that means times 3, right? So I want you to write down 3. Now, how many times is it going to triple? 6 times. You are brilliant. All right,
Oh, you're right. Oh,
right. That was kind of hard. All right, when something triples, you're multiplying it by 3. All right, now how did you come up with 6 again? Explain that.
because, every 4 hours, then it's going to triple 6 times because we're not away.
That's exactly right. Exactly. I like that a lot. All right, now we got scientific notation. Go. No, wait. Oh, is it your turn, Wilson?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, go.
So you just move it to the
Right. How many places am I going to move it?
7,
So it's going to be what?
1.608 times 10 to the 7.
Times.
-7.
Yes, very good. I'm going to check him. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, he's correct.
Decimal.
Decimals are negatives. That is correct. Okay,
Would it be 4 to the 8th power?
yes, ma'am. 4 times 10 to the 8th. I'm happy with that. All right, back over here. Help me out, Aiden.
That's 3.495 to the times 10 to the 6th power.
You're amazing. 3.495 times 10 to the 6th.
It's 4.8 times 10 to
Yes, ma'am. I like that a lot. 4.8 times 10 to the -4. All right, go ahead. Let's hear it. Jacob?
I'm sorry, I'm just right now. In 2007, the population of the United States was about 3 times 10 to the 8th, which probably represents this number in standard form. That would be
How much?
3 times 10 to the 8th. I'm pulling the right answer. It'll just be
It is C. Anybody have any issues with it being C? It's a 3 with 8 zeros. A 3 with 8 zeros. Okay, Mikey, B to the -2. Right, 1 over B to the 2nd. All right, Sophia.
D.
I like it.
What is radius again?
Remember, the radius is from the center of the circle to the edge of the circle. There's a radius and a diameter.
Are we gonna be doing like pi stuff this week?
Yeah, man. We're gonna have a whole unit on that. All right, where am I at now? Okay, tell me what that is. -12 PR. You are amazing, girl. That's correct. All right, so where does square root of 52? What 2 numbers is it between? Well, what's the square root of 52?
7.2.
Right. So now, come on, you did this right. 7.2. Is 7.2 between 10 and 11?
No.
What is it between? That is correct. 7 and 8. Okay, so Max, yeah, which one's not rational? J is not rational. A whole number. So give me a whole number. Can I write that as a fraction?
Oh, yeah.
What? Yes. 4 over 1.
So
Always. That is correct. All right, Maggie. Sometimes you are really good. That was hard to see. The reason it's sometimes is because you can have, for example, 1 1/2. All right, that's not a whole number. Okay. All right. A negative number is an integer.
Oh, that's not bad.
Sometimes, very good.
Very easy.
Oh, sorry about that. I didn't mean to insult you. All right, Nora.
Alright,
0 is irrational.
no,
Never. Okay, Wilson.
So square root of 6 is
Tell me what that is.
2.449.
Okay.
And then we convert that into a,
Well, no, you can't convert it to a fraction. I want you to convert 3/7 to a decimal.
oh, okay, 2.428 or 429.
Okay, so now what's true?
The root of 6 is greater
That is
than
correct. Okay, Mackenzie, help me out.
um,
Was it
5.698, so it's equal.
exactly? It was exactly 5.698.
Yeah. Oh,
Cube root of 185?
no, it's not. It has numbers after, like a lot further after. So it's greater than.
Look at it. Again, that's what I'm asking you.
oh, yeah,
You see what I'm saying, right?
yeah.
Right, there's, as long as there's another number after that, then that's greater. Okay, now I did number 41 again. All right, everyone should be able to get the answer. All right, I'll give you 30 seconds. Everybody trying 41. What time is the bell ring? What'd you get?
I got 80.
80, yay. Now, we're not just gonna say 80, we're gonna say 80 what?
Oh, 80.
80 feet.
Oh, yeah.
All right. And Mackenzie, we'll start with you tomorrow, okay? Now, listen, I really would like some of you guys. Yeah, I think we can do this whole thing tomorrow. All right. Now, does everybody understand what I'm trying to show you is you're understanding yourself right now, how many you got right, how many you got wrong. If you're like, wow, I was doing a pretty good job, I got most of them right, then you don't have to spend as much time studying. If some of you like, wow, I didn't have a clue what I was doing, now you got to go back and redo the problems. All right, yes, ma'am. Anybody have any questions? All right, I'm really happy with that today, guys. That was good. We got quite a bit done. Hopefully you feel better about your calculator too. All right, really good.